What's going on, people? It's your boy Leon Maz from Leon Talks TV, back at it again. So, in today's topic, I want to talk about understanding you're not her preference. You see, this topic is what many guys might find puzzling. What does it really mean when a woman says, "You're not usually my type"? It's a phrase that can stir up a lot of feelings and often leaves guys wondering where they stand. You see, in this video, we will unpack the meaning behind those words, explore the rules of attraction, and discuss the expectations that might come with them. We also share some personal stories and insights to help you navigate the dating scene more effectively. So let's get started and make sense of this complex aspect of relationship. Chapter 1. What does not my type mean? Or, you're not usually what I go for. Alright, so let's start with this basic. When a woman says you're not my type or you're not usually what I go for, it's important to remember that this isn't necessarily a rejection at times, because initially you could not be someone's type, but someone might still be attracted to you. Think of it like this. Imagine you're at an ice cream shop. You usually go for chocolate, but today you decided to try something new, like vanilla, for instance. Just because you usually pick chocolate doesn't mean you don't like vanilla, right? This could just be what you're used to and you've come accustomed to it. You see, when a woman says you're not her usual type, it might just mean she's used to a certain look or a vibe. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. In fact, it could be a chance for you to show her something different, like that vanilla ice cream. However, could be doesn't mean it should be. Chapter 2, the rules of attraction. Now here's where things get a little more complicated. Often when a woman states that you're not her usual type, it might also mean she has certain rules or preferences in mind. Maybe she usually dates taller guys, or perhaps she prefers a certain race or a certain color of hair. This means that in her eyes, she might have to put in a bit more. You might have to put in a bit more effort to stand out. Chapter 3, the downside of the challenge. Now let's consider the downside. When you're trying to get to know a woman who has specific preferences, it can sometimes feel like you're constantly trying to keep up. If she's not putting in the same level of effort, it might lead to frustration. You might start to wonder, am I even good enough? Personally, it's always best to go for women who find you attractive and are into your look, whatever that might be. I don't believe in chasing women who are not physically attracted to you, whether that's due to your race, complexion, or phenotype. Because here's the thing, you end up in situations where you are going to be in an uphill battle, always having to qualify for that person, as they will always see themselves as the superior one. Hence, the need for you to qualify to them. Personal story. I met this one girl, and although we didn't go all the way, if you know what I mean, but there was some level of intimacy we shared. So I'm qualified in saying that there was a mutual attraction there, especially for my part. Just a little bit of, but it was just a little bit of fooling around nonetheless. We used to talk and went on a few dates. In the initial dates and phone conversation, everything was great. She was showing a good level of interest. Not overwhelming, but good nonetheless. It was enough for me to think that I should keep pursuing her. However, this was the tricky part that came in. I remember her saying that all her exes were dark-skinned men, and she was surprised that she took a liking to me due to my light-skinned complexion. But what's funny? I should have been skeptical after she had said that, because in hindsight, that should have been a red flag. And I say that because you can't negotiate someone's attractions towards you, especially if you do not fit into their preference. And that should have been my cue to end things right there and then. But the naivety in me was like, nah, I'm the exception to the rule. I'm not just any guy. I'm different. I'm a different type of special. It's almost like a man thinking he can convert a beautiful woman who only dates women to like him. It just isn't going to happen. That indeed was the problem, thinking that she could change her type for me. Maybe it could have happened, who knows, but highly doubt it. But you see, what was funny about that situation is that, like I said, everything was cool. We were literally talking every day, and then all of a sudden, her replies started becoming slower. First, it was 5 hours, then 10, and next, it was 24 hours replies. The thing is, I knew she was seeing the messages because she was posting on her stories on her Instagram. But by then, I already knew this was a lost cause. But after it fizzled out, literally a year later, she got engaged to a guy who was exactly her type. And the guy literally resembled what she had described all of her exes to be. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the reason she went cold after showing her interest in the beginning was due to me not being her type, but it does make me wonder if I had been her initial type, would she have made more of an effort, or in fact, did her type come along and I was just a placeholder until her real type showed up? I mean, who knows? Like I said before in one of my other videos, we will never get closure from women. But one thing is for sure, judging from my experience, when you're a woman's type, 9 out of 10 times, she isn't going to go cold on you or totally ghost you, unless, of course, you've done something really bad, which deserves a ghosting. But just from my experience, it just don't happen. Don't get me wrong, there's a difference between having a preference and attraction. Take me, for instance. I'm attracted to many different women of various races and shades of complexion, and that includes women with different hair colors as well. You see, to me, if you're attractive, you're attractive. Personally, I believe that every ethnicity has pretty women, as well as women you might not desire. That being said, however, I did have a preference, and my preference was women from my place of origin, women who share the same ethnicity as me because of similar backgrounds due to culture. However, that has changed now. So you see, I literally don't have a preference as long as I'm attracted to you. Proving yourself. Now let's talk about what it means to prove yourself. When a woman says you're not her usual type, it often comes with the expectation that you will need to show her why she should be interested in you. This means you might have to put in extra effort, maybe being more charming, funny, or confident. Shit, maybe even spending more money on her, who knows? Or you may need to go that extra mile, even though she most likely won't feel to meet you in the middle, and also to mention to put in more work, more so than the guy who is actually her type. I mean, there's a reason why they say women will break their own rules for the guy they like. Conclusion. So there you have it. Understanding what it means when a woman says you're not her type can be a game changer in your dating life. It's not just about physical looks, it's about attraction, it's about preferences, effort, and finding that connection that transcends initial preferences. Remember, dating should be a fun and exciting journey, not an uphill battle, you know? If you ever feel like you're putting in more effort than the other person, it's worth taking a step back to evaluate your situation. So understand that sometimes we want to give the benefit of the doubt when we are dating a woman for the first time and see some potential in her. But honestly, aim for women who like you and are physically attracted to you and who fit your preference. It just makes for a better dating experience. After all, you deserve someone who appreciates you for who you are, not just as an exception to the rule. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Until the next time, keep being yourself and embrace the journey.